Hey guys, Solid here, hope you're all doing well. I wanted to talk about the KTM 490 Adventure, or the lack of news about the KTM 490 Adventure. The last we heard about this bike was May 2021, and it's really suspicious that we haven't heard anything for almost a year. So today I wanted to discuss whether we should be worried about this fact and what we can kind of piece together and do a little bit of forensics to figure out what the hell's going on here. We know that Stefan Pierre, the CEO of Pierre Mobility Group, that's the company that owns KTM, GasGas, Husqvarna, has gone on record saying that the 490s are in development, that KTM plan 5 models based on the 490cc platform, which will be a parallel twin that they are hoping, this is not factual, but he said he's hoping will make 60 horsepower. So that's the first bit of strong evidence I would say exists that the KTM 490 is definitely a planned bike. The other bit of evidence that we have that actually shows pictures of the bikes is the shareholder meeting that KTM also held. And in the picture, you can clearly see that KTM do have plans for a 490 range and Husqvarna for the NORDEN 501 series as well. Stefan Pierre also confirmed that they did plan on doing a NORDEN 501 as well. So we've got confirmation of both the KTM 490 Adventure and a Husqvarna NORDEN 501. So that's two separate occasions on record that KTM have stated that this bike is in the process of development. So next we need to talk about where this bike will be produced. Originally this bike was stated to be made in India in a new factory that was due to be completed in 2023 by Bajaj in conjunction with KTM. Now obviously those dates don't line up, as Stefan Pierre said 2022 is the first time we would see a 490cc powered KTM. If the factory isn't finished till 2023, where are they going to be making this bike? Well, articles came out stating that they probably would make the first of these KTMs in China. Given that they have the agreement with CF Moto, of course they've got the MT800 from CF Moto using the KTM engine, and KTM have been producing out of China as well. And originally I thought that was a very strong possibility. But given that we're now in 2022, this is March of 2022 now, we still haven't heard anything about the KTM 490 series. So what I think is a possibility that's going to happen is the reason we haven't heard anything is KTM are just going to wait until the India factory is opened, and the 2022 model is actually going to be a 2023 model. The reason I say that is because a lot of these companies really underestimated the effects of the health crisis that struck us in 2020 and we're still suffering the effects from. I think that really did just blow apart schedules, supply chains, and on top of that, you've got to consider the optics of producing something in China at the moment. I think that they could quite possibly say, you know what, we're just going to wait for the plant to be completed in 2023 in India and start straight from there. Of course, on the flip side, we could all be surprised. KTM could announce this year that they're going into production for the 490s at the end of this year and do the first part of production in China. It's only March, so we have plenty more time this year, but I don't think so. I think if I was a KTM CEO, wait for the plant to be completed and make the bike from there, from the get-go, with all the specialty tools, equipment, and trained personnel in one place. And everyone's going to accept those delays because, well, everything else is delayed in the world, so why not KTM's as well? The first feature I think this needs is lightweight. I've seen so many parallel twin adventure bikes now that cost the amount of a small moon and they weigh almost as much as the Titanic does. I would love to see it sub 180 kilos. I think that's still just possible if KTM put in the effort. I, just like you, hope that they get way under that. If this was an ideal world, I'd love to see it sub 160 kilos, but I don't think that really is possible without it costing an extraordinarily large amount of. Really asking for less than that and still having that bike affordable really is an unrealistic expectation. So I think that weight is very important because you want a bike that you can pick up in the tight stuff when you do eventually drop it, and that's why the weight appeals here, because the lighter the bike, the more gnarlier terrain you can take it on in confidence. So I think that's why a lot of people are excited. The other thing they really need to get right here is price. Now, this could be a very expensive motorcycle and people would still buy it if they did put premium features on that. And that is certainly one way they could go, putting Öhlins suspension and basically doing a smaller version of the 890 Adventure. But I don't think that's what's going to happen, namely because they're building it in India. That's where their budget stuff is built. They don't really have the same components to make the super premium stuff. On top of that, there is a far bigger market out there for KTM if they make it cheaper so that entry-level riders can afford getting this bike, and it'll be very interesting to see how KTM price this. The third thing that I think KTM really need to do here is the capability of this bike. We have seen a plethora of small adventure bikes that are basically road-based adventure bikes. They can do a little bit of dirt, and with modification you can make them even more dirt focused, but they really weren't designed with any intention in mind to do proper off-road riding. I would like to see KTM do what they've just done with the 390 Adventure R, that is take the 390 Adventure, they've given it better suspension, spoke wheels with a 21/18 wheel setup. It looks like they're trying to make it lighter, more ground clearance. It looks like a fantastic machine. Check out the video I just did on that. I really think that KTM need to do a 490 Adventure R, or at least make the NORDEN 501 more dirt capable. Make it serious for the off-road riding. That's what we want. Something that can do the difficult tracks if we want to do them, but we can still load up the camping gear and do a couple of hours on the highway in relative comfort. A bike that is a Swiss Army knife machine with the parallel twin engine. There really hasn't been a lightweight off-road capable adventure bike, doesn't cost the moon, and is a small displacement parallel twins. KTM really have the opportunity to make a magical motorcycle here. There are a lot of ways that they can fail at this, take a bad turn at any one of those intersections, and this bike won't be as good as we hope for. They really do still have the opportunity to make a fantastic motorcycle here. Make a road biased base model with the 490 Adventure, do the off-road capable 490 Adventure R, and then they can do a premium package with the Husqvarna NORDEN 501s. There's a lot of options and a lot of moving pieces here, but I'm still fairly excited. I'd love to know what you guys think though. Chuck your comments down below. And until next time guys, don't forget to stay shiny side up, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.